in the name, as always, in the name of Jesus, this video is going to be doing my review of Arrow Season 3, Episode 6, Guilty. So we open up with Roy Harp, with Oliver Queen as the Arrow and Roy Harper as Arsenal, as they're walking over there, and they're seeing a lot of corpses everywhere, and some of them hanging upside down. So the point where they find one, where they find the words guilty over them. So we find them over, and then we go to, they go on a journey, and it leads them all the way to Ted Grant's gym. And then he holds Ted Grant at the point of an arrow, and it's like, and then and the Arrow suspects him greatly. Laurel doesn't think so, but however, Arrow or Oliver Queen just thinks that Sara is not in the right state of mind. So, in the meantime, Roy just reveals to reveals to Felicity that he thinks he killed Sara. Before that, he goes and asks if there's still any Mirakuru in him, and then he goes back and says, she goes back and says, no, there is no Mirakuru, and then after that, they do a little bit of digging on him. No, wait, no. A little digging on him. No, wait, before that, in the flashbacks, Oliver is being sent out by this Mameo, whatever his name is, to go after this. Okay, I think I'll just set those flashbacks for later, for after the end, and then we get to, anyways, Oliver goes to confront him again. They fight for a little bit, and then he realizes that he reveals to Oliver that he was a vigilante before he was. So, and that he beat one of the men to death, and then soon for that we get to see before that we also got to see Laurel and Ted have a little training montage, which was really cool. And anyways, we see Roy just admits the truth that he feels like he killed another cop that he killed Sara under the influence of Mirakuru, and it's confusing. And then Diggle just thinks they need to cut him off. I kind of disagree with him on that one, because for many reasons, and not just because of the fact that Roy, I don't think Roy killed him under the influence of Mirakuru. And then secondly, I'm trying to think. So there's a little bit of and then they are heading down to Oliver goes down to Ted Grant's gym again, where he is confronted, where another man's there, and he shoots at both Ted and the Arrow. And then before you know it, the guy escapes, and Ted Grant is arrested. He's questioned by Laurel, and then he is released soon. We've learned that this guy is his sidekick. That this guy used to be Ted Grant's sidekick. So when he was doing vigilantism, so that was good to know. And then they are kidnapped. He has cut ties. He holds Laurel and Ted at gunpoint, and he forces them to take a drive. Whereas what ensues next is an amazing scene where we see Diggle fight against Laurel. Diggle, a bit of a car chase between the Arrow and Ted Grant, while being held hostage. It becomes a bit of and then it's really good. And then the guy gets out. I think his name is Isaac. Isaac breaks out, and then he is fought by Roy Harper as Arsenal. It was a very great fight scene. And then Roy finally defeats him. After that, Oliver, Oliver, they're having Oliver and Roy, they're having a little chit chat, and he drops the name Arsenal. So that is the first time we're seeing Oliver Queen call Roy giving Roy's alter ego Arsenal for the first time. So he lights a candle and tries to help him remember. Close his eyes and help him remember. Roy now remembers that he killed a cop under the influence of Mirakuru. Glad that thing's cleared up. So Roy just still feels a little guilty and things like that. So and then after that and Laurel says he doesn't want Ted to comply to Oliver's wish, which he asked for him to, which he gave him after they just solved all this. Oliver as the Arrow, namely not training Laurel how to fight, because Laurel seriously wants to avenge her sister's death, which is really consumed her lately. So in the meantime, at the end of the episode, this prisoner is dropped out, is walking out, is leaving, and they are shot by arrows by a girl named Cupid. Yes, Cupid is here. For those of you who don't know, Cupid is one of Green Arrow's enemies in the comic book, and she's something like a stalker of the stalks Green Arrow and is a serial killer and tries to kill people to get his attention. So that's what we'll be seeing her do next week. In the meantime, in the flashbacks, Oliver is trying to they're trying to go after, Oliver is being sent after this guy by the man whom he's staying with. He kind of forgets in the process, and then later Oliver is trying to get this boy's attention, playing games with this guy's son, and then Katana tells her to leave and tells him to go to bed and tells Oliver not to come near her son. So they are trying to, meanwhile she is help. Both of them try to help him remember. Help him remember what happened, and then he remembers the guy's name, and then they find out his name is Leon Hui or whatever his name is, and they're trying to find out if China White wants him or whatever. So yes, and Katana's like, get out of my life, wants him out of there as soon as possible. So I'm just hoping it's only a matter of time before she warms up to Oliver. Anyways, I like a lot about this episode. I'm glad that we cleared up where they cleared up the fact that Roy now knows he killed a cop under the influence of Mirakuru and that he did not kill Sara. I also love the fight scenes. They made this episode. And I love the fact that we got to see Cupid for the first time. I can't wait for next week. I want to see what they do with her. Alright. Anyways, I have to give this thing a 9.0 out of 10. It was a great episode. I can't wait for next week's episode.